just give me a minute to clear the timer. Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Breathing techniques. Trying. This complaint was not filed with any other intent as to make sure that the city's charter is being followed. And when you look at the 8 complaints that I had outlined, the 7 of them individually, it's really a non-issue. But when you stack one on top of the other, on top of the other, and then add Warm Mineral Springs on top of that, that was the icing on the cake. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Add to that the fact that, which was blatantly clear, the city manager and I do not communicate. The city manager's first words this morning were, one person didn't vote for me, and that is the biggest crux of the whole problem. It is something that he has not been able to get past. I have tried repeatedly to work with him and communicate effectively with him for 6 months, and I really thought we were on a good path until April. We know what happened in April, and it was just this downward spiral. And the lack of communication to this entire commission body, which is the citizens, nobody will convince me otherwise. We are here to make sure we serve the citizens. And the intent with the lack of communication between the city manager and myself is not anything but filled with malice towards me. And I'm sorry, it's my opinion and I am entitled to it. The Warm Mineral Springs, we gave 2 resolutions to have this be an outstanding spring. The first time there was huge discussion. Are there any consequences? What are the pros? What are the cons? We need to know this information. The cons outweigh the pros. We get all this extra money with this designation. So we proceeded. The second time around, because it failed, we did it again. Yeah, in between somewhere, we got Warm Mineral Springs, the P3 and all that. You cannot dismiss the fact that staff provided and started a memo on March 9th. It did not get sent to the commission until March 29th, 3 weeks later. And if you look at the digital signatures, there was a week in between where people signed that document. On March 22nd, when you look at the state's Senate listing, the state paused the designation on March 22nd, a week before the memo came out. On April 2nd, up in Tallahassee, I heard from my fellow commissioners thanking them, our state legislators, for putting this on pause. I was shocked. Why did we put this on pause? What happened? Why did we put this on pause? And then I found out former Commissioner Luke, who was the spearhead and the person that really wanted this designation, who even took time out of her personal life to go up and advocate for this at the delegation meeting in January of 23, on her own accord, because she's no longer an elected official, promoting this designation, knew that it was paused. I didn't. On April 2nd, When I found out about this, I immediately returned to City Hall and sent an email to the city manager asking what happened? How did this happen? What's going on? I got crickets. April 18th, I sent an email to the city manager. Are you going to be addressing this? Could you please answer this? And he said that he would address it during our one-on-one, which was later that day, verbal conversation. I followed up that verbal conversation with an email. Funny thing is, on April 25th, the PIO of the city of Northport issued talking points as the reason that this was paused and that the commission wasn't informed of it, which means the citizens were not informed of it, was because it was time sensitive. March 9th to April 25th, all of a sudden it's time sensitive. Folks, there were other entities involved with this designation that we asked for their support with the state for this designation. The most egregious part is citizens came out and spoke positively for this designation. They wanted this designation. You want to know why people are mad as a hornet? They didn't get an input as to why it was being paused. That in itself is the reason I firmly believe our city manager violated his role as a city manager, violated his charter. He went against a commission directive without consulting us or our citizens. The other 8 items, done and over with. Yeah, we get to move on. But it's the pattern, one on top of the other. And the fact that the mayor knew about it and talked to the city manager, and he didn't have the common sense to pick up the phone and talk to 20% of the commission body blows my mind. There is so much more I can say, but I know I've got only about 1.5 minutes. I think I made my point. And if this is allowed, again, it's setting that precedent and that slippery slope. What's going to be the next time? It's going to be something maybe Commissioner Stokes feels that is a violation or doesn't agree with, and he approaches the city manager, and now all of a sudden the city manager is going to treat 40% of the commission with malice. Maybe it'll be the mayor, maybe it'll be the vice mayor, or the Commissioner Emmerich, and then it's 100%. Is that what it's going to take? I am an elected official. I am 20% of his boss. There is no respect for this 20% being portrayed from the city manager who we appointed. And just because I didn't vote for him is irrelevant.